Audrey is described as a white female with blonde hair and blue eyes. She stands about 4 feet 1 inches tall, weighs 75 pounds. She is 11 years old and she is missing. But first, in Indianapolis, 39-year-old Crystal Kennebrew was fatally shot at a Waffle House. Tragedy struck on an ordinary Monday morning at a local Waffle House in Indianapolis. It escalated from a minor disturbance to a devastating incident. Crystal Kennebrew, a bartender, club promoter, and co-owner of Fatso's pub in Gary, was tragically killed amidst the chaos.
And here's what we know about what happened. Gunfire erupted here just after 12:30 this morning. Police got here and initially found 5 shooting victims before learning of a 6th victim who showed up at Methodist Hospital in critical condition. One woman who was rushed to Escalating Hospital died from her injuries.
The shooting, stemming from a confrontation between two groups, unfolded in the early hours, shocking patrons and staff.
You could hear the frustration out here among police.
If you can't work things out without resorting to violence, then turn and walk away.
Despite the swift response from law enforcement, the perpetrators remain at large. Crystal's death has sparked discussions on the value of life and the necessity for unity in adversity. Memorials and calls for change reflect the community's commitment to honoring her legacy and striving for a more compassionate future. In the aftermath, Indianapolis faces the challenge of healing and preventing future violence, guided by the memory of Crystal's dedication to fostering connections. As the city mourns and the investigation continues, her legacy serves as a beacon of hope, inspiring a movement toward peace and understanding. His grandmother said the 7-year-old lost part of his brain that makes us who we are. He was shot by his father at church. We'll get to that story in just a moment, but first, the 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham. Well, she's gone missing, but police think they know who is responsible, and they are asking for your help. Don Stephen McDougal was arrested on an unrelated charge a day after 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham went missing, according to authorities. Authorities in Texas have identified McDougal as a person of interest in the disappearance of Audrey, who was reported missing when she failed to attend school. McDougal, age 42, was apprehended by the Polk County Sheriff's Office on an unrelated aggravated assault charge. The Sheriff's Office has not disclosed the number of persons of interest identified in the investigation. Audrey was last seen near her residence in Livingston, Texas, around 7 a.m. local time on Thursday. Law enforcement officials believe McDougal's dark blue 2003 Chevrolet Suburban may be linked to Audrey's disappearance and are urging the public to report any sightings of the vehicle on Thursday or Friday. Additionally, police discovered a child's backpack near the Lake Livingston Dam, but did not confirm if it belonged to Audrey. McDougal has previous convictions for enticement of a child, according to court records. Audrey is described as a white female with blonde hair and blue eyes, weighing 75 pounds and standing approximately 4 feet 1 inch tall. She was last seen wearing black pants, a black hoodie with white lettering, and black high-top tennis shoes. The Sheriff's Office is offering a $7,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and prosecution of those responsible for Audrey's disappearance. An Amber Alert has been issued across Texas. Audrey's mother suspects McDougal may be acquainted with Audrey's father. Missing since 2018, a 9-year-old girl and her 10-year-old brother have been found. One of them was found in a barrel filled with concrete and another in a suitcase in the trunk of a car. But first, the tragic story of that 7-year-old who was shot at a megachurch in Texas. The 7-year-old son of the Lakewood Church shooter, Jaleesa Moreno, has suffered a severe gunshot wound to the head, resulting in the loss of a significant portion of his frontal lobe. Samuel Moreno Carranza underwent 2 surgeries within 24 hours, during which half of his right skull had to be removed. His grandmother, Wally Carranza, shared the heartbreaking news on Facebook, expressing uncertainty about his brain activity due to the fragile nature of his scalp tissue. The frontal lobe, responsible for managing various cognitive and behavioral functions such as thinking, emotions, personality, and self-control, has been profoundly affected by Samuel's injury, according to medical experts. The tragic incident occurred when Moreno, armed with a long rifle and accompanied by Samuel, opened fire during services at Joel Osteen's Houston megachurch. Samuel and another individual were shot during the rampage. Houston Police Chief Troy Finner revealed that Moreno had made bomb threats, prompting a thorough search of her vehicle and belongings, although no explosives were found. Finner emphasized that Moreno acted alone, and her motive for the shooting remains unknown. Finner refrained from speculating on whether it was Moreno or the officers who shot Samuel, but stressed that Moreno's actions put her own child in grave danger, attributing blame to her for the tragic outcome. Karina Marez and Jaleesa Joseph have been apprehended by authorities in Pueblo, Colorado, following the discovery of the remains of two young children. The investigation commenced on January 20th after concerns arose regarding the whereabouts of Yesenia Dominguez and Jaleesa Dominguez Jr., who had not been seen since the summer of 2018. Yesenia, aged 9, and her brother Jesus, aged 10, were the subjects of the search. On January 22nd and February 6th, the remains of both children were located, with Yesenia's remains found inside a metal container filled with hardened concrete in a storage unit. The discovery was prompted by a report of suspicious activity in the area. DNA confirmation of Yesenia's identity was achieved on February 15th, a week after Jesus' remains were found in a suitcase in the trunk of a vehicle at a local scrapyard. Karina Marez and Jaleesa Dominguez were identified as persons of interest in the case, with arrest warrants issued for first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse for both individuals. Additionally, Jesus faced an additional charge of theft of government benefits. Marez was taken into custody on Friday, with authorities initially unable to locate Jesus. However, he was subsequently arrested on Saturday, as announced by the Pueblo Police Department on social media. Marez is currently held at the Pueblo County Detention Center on a $2 million bond.
Join us next time for Primetime Crime reports that the national media overlooks.